So, what is domestic violence to you?
Domestic violence. Shall I look at the camera? Domestic violence is that's like violence within the home, right? Like family stuff.
Yeah.
Domestic violence is when you're in a relationship with someone and they either emotionally, physically, or mentally abuse you, like
Yeah.
Violence is when someone in a home is being violent, whether emotionally or physically, towards someone else in the home.
Society tells him real men don't apologize unless they just weak. So he stands his ground, strong, proud. But at the cost of my humanity, because his superior's around. But the thing that worries me most is the comfort my relatives have with this, witnessing, watching, teaching a vicious cycle further deteriorating. An already broken machine like vital organs fighting against my own body. And I can't seem to comprehend the security within the same, but you stripped me of everything, you ungrateful bastard.
And who are the victims?
Generally it's like women and or children, or it's thought to be, but then I think victims are used to.
And who does it affect most?
I would guess if there were children involved, it would probably affect them the most, but in some ways I guess it affects everybody, probably children.
Well, domestic violence affects everybody. Not only does the abuser is affected, with a sense of aggression, but the victim's family, they lose loved ones due to domestic violence. So it really affects all of us as a whole.
And everybody can be affected, even family members, because when you have someone who's being domestically a victim of domestic violence, they're affected because you want to help them, and that puts stress on the person who wants to help them. So everybody can be affected.
That's what I call domestic abuse. See, what I'm trying to do here is dig up some roots. Because last time I checked, babies aren't violent out the womb. So what is it truly about? Because the way I see it, this BS is just a product of your nonchalant attitude passed down to generations after you, and the ignorance continues. A vicious cycle we need to put an end to. Let's start by teaching our babies that being a man is more than just physical strength. Because baby, your most powerful tool isn't seen, it is felt, isn't said, but is carried out, isn't forced, but is a second nature embedded in the subconscious. Because who said loving was something you actually had to think about?
How would I help? I would just increase awareness of the signs, because a lot of the times people our age don't notice that domestic violence is happening until something bad happens.
How would I help? Well, especially as a male, we have to be role models, and especially as a lot of times considered leaders of the household or leaders of the family, that, we have to take that leading step, is that when you get married, that you shouldn't be, doing that. People should see as an example of you. These young men are, they could have had no role model. They could be seeing other people do it. That's the thing to do. And so first, without spending a dime, without doing anything, the first thing we can do is set that example and not put our hands or physically or verbally abuse.